Today I'm going to speak about attachments in relationships and how that affects us in a negative way and how it affects relationship in a negative way. So of course most of us we like to have a label. When we start dating somebody, soon after one of us or both of us are wondering, where is this going? Are we dating? Are we girlfriend and boyfriend? And we kind of tend to push it to make it official in some way. Nothing wrong with that. We're humans. We like to create community and couple and kind of some sort of deeper connection. But what comes with labels is very often set of expectations and attachments and other things that are coming from our lower self, from our wounds, from the time when we were kids and we had some unfulfilled desires or needs from our parents, and then we kind of carry it all the way to adulthood, and as soon as the label is in, we project it on our partner. So example of it would be if you're seeing somebody casually, like your so-called fuck buddies, you're not gonna have many expectations. Of course, you want certain amount of respect and honesty and them respecting your time and your desires and so on, but all at the level of like, he doesn't know me anything, I don't know him anything, or she, or whatever. The moment that kind of relationship goes into something a little bit more serious, all of a sudden we think that it's their job to anticipate our needs, it's their job to know what we want and what we don't want, it's their job to make us feel safe and loved and so on. I'm not saying that your partner shouldn't make you feel safe and loved and other things, but it's not their job. And you having that expectation and kind of pushing it on them might make matters even worse. A few days ago, I spoke about basing safety in ourselves. Why is it important? Is because if we base it on somebody else, we're always dependent on that other person for safety. So we have to build it inside of ourselves first. And then, of course, ideally, you're going to have a partner who is not going to make you feel unsafe and always make you feel wonder if you matter, if you're good enough, and so on. But it has to come from you first. And if you feel safe and you feel self-love, by the law of resonance, you're going to attract a partner that is going to be on that same level, and you're not going to have to wonder, and you're not going to have to make them do this or that. They're just going to resonate on the same level of consciousness and awareness. So coming back to these attachments, if we can be totally casual and totally cool with somebody who we're casually dating, why do we switch to this crazy obsessive attachment once it's officially a relationship, when they call us their girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever? Basically, the closer we get to somebody, the more intimacy there is, and the more they assume that role of our parent. Because if you're a woman like I am and you start dating a man, the closer he gets to you, the more connection and intimacy is going to form between the two of you, and then he would remind you more of your father, in a sense, like not in some crazy sense like reminding physically or something, but the sort of connection would be closer to what you had with your parent. And because we have all these childhood traumas and pains and hurts and wounds, then we start projecting it on our partner, and then all the attachments come and all the expectations and where did you go and when are you coming back and why didn't you text me and so on. But when the relationship was very superficial, we're totally cool not knowing where they are for days and days. So I would invite all of you to really try to practice keeping that level of detachment even when you start really caring about somebody. Because what happens is that as we form a relationship, we want to experience more love, we want to give more love and receive it from our partner, but by creating attachments, we're blocking that flow of love in a relationship. So you're basically doing something that is counterproductive. So I would really like for all of you to just try, especially if you're getting into a new relationship right now, try to enjoy and savor every moment of it without overthinking. Usually what creates these stories in our head is the future, thinking what they might do, what might happen in the future. It's not about present moment, because especially if you're at the beginning of a relationship, things are always pretty good, and there is excitement, and there is a lot of sex, and there is a lot of care, and you're going places together, you enjoy spending time together. So there is not really anything to worry about. It's just our projection of the future that creates fear, and then blocks love, and creates attachments and expectations, and makes things harder and worse, and your relationship basically kind of doomed not to succeed, or to be a very difficult one in the future. So try it. If you're at the beginning of a relationship, try to keep it cool. Keep your friends, keep doing things that you love, keep having your life not being based just on your partner, and see how it works.